On tonight's CTV News, Orion's chief executive receives a hefty pay rise, the Defence Force is competing in an international sporting event, and we review Skirt's progress in the central city. This is CTV News. I'm Grant Mangan. Orion recorded a $50 million profit this year, and to reward a job well done, Orion's chief executive is receiving a large pay rise.
A Christchurch City councillor has weighed in on the hefty pay rise of Orion's chief executive.
Yeah, I think it's a bit much. I think councillors have definitely been feeding back to CCHL and our subsidiary companies that there needs to be some restraint in CEO salaries, especially in companies which are essentially operating as public monopolies where there isn't huge competition.
In the March 2014 financial year, Orion's chief executive, Rob Jamieson, was paid between $720,000 and $730,000, a much higher salary than the $540,000 to $550,000 he was paid in the previous year.
I think, once you get above 500,000, it's a bit hard to justify.
The pay rise takes Mr Jamieson above what Canterbury Earthquake Recovery Authority's chief executive, Roger Sutton, was paid when he was in the same role. But Orion have defended the pay rise in a statement, saying that when Mr Jamieson was taken on, Orion agreed to pay him an incentive payment if his performance was satisfactory over the 3 years.
And I don't think we should be looking at private sector pay levels and using those to determine, public sector level.
The Christchurch City Council owns 90% of Orion, with the Selwyn District Council owning the rest.
And one thing we've got to remember from the council perspective is these are standalone companies. They operate with independent boards and, under the Companies Act, and there are limits to what we can do, but it is something that we will have a closer look at.
The pay rise comes at a time when the company recorded a $50 million profit, up $1 million on what it earned last year. Emma Cropper, CTV News.
Christchurch Police Station was evacuated today after a suspicious package was found. A member of the public delivered the package to the police after receiving it in the mail. Nearby businesses, along with the entire police station, were completely evacuated, and St Asaph Street was closed to traffic while the package was investigated. Officers examined the package in an interview room. Wires were spotted, but officers weren't sure where they were going or where they were connected. The bomb disposal unit then used a robot to test the package, discovering it was in fact not a bomb. Emergency 111 calls were still answered during the 1.5-hour station shutdown. A team of 12 Defence Force servicemen and women are heading to London to compete in the Invictus Games.
I am the master of my fate.
I am the captain of my soul.
I am Invictus.
Over 400 competitors from 14 nations, the Invictus Games are an international sporting competition for wounded, injured and sick service personnel. 49 days until the grand opening, 12 of New Zealand's finest are training hard for the big games. Amy Baines has served in the Royal New Zealand Navy for 15 years. Based in Christchurch, she currently works at the Defence Health School as a team leader and associate lecturer. Honoured to be representing the country, Amy Baines will be competing in 8 sports, including road cycling, powerlifting and swimming.
Honestly, it's quite hard to put into words what it means. I think every one of us, including myself, just wants to give everything we can. We're all wounded or injured or ill in some way, and to just go over there and represent New Zealand and represent the Defence Force in this capacity is quite beyond words.
The team of the 12 Defence Force New Zealanders are made up of those currently serving and retired. Inspired by the tenacity to push through recovery and continue to lead lives of excellence, Amy Baines says it's incredible to be part of the team.
And we've all got the same type of injury or disability, but yet every single one of us is still doing their very best, and that kind of motivates the individual. Like myself, I'm motivated by these guys because they are an awesome bunch of people, and it's kind of making me work better and work harder, and we're just feeding off each other at the moment. It's a real good buzz. Christchurch local Aaron Soppert serves in the New Zealand Army and has done for almost 15 years. Hoping to bring home a medal, Aaron Soppert is competing in several sports, including wheelchair rugby, archery and swimming.
I'd like to bring back a medal. That would be awesome. But yes, being able to bring back some recognition would be excellent.
Aaron endured a 4-year battle with a brain tumour, 4 brain surgeries and nerve damage. Excited to be challenged and getting back into team sports, competing in the Invictus Games for him is a great honour. Invictus is about harnessing the power of sport to inspire recovery, support and rehabilitation. Aaron Sobbett says training with his fellow Kiwis has been personally inspiring.
Occasionally I still wonder why I'm here, but certainly a lot of the other guys are very inspirational. But there's one of the guys there, and he's always been pulled up as a demonstration of the correct technique that we should be doing. So it's actually been very good.
The Games, endorsed by the Royal Foundation of the Duke and Duchess of Cambridge and His Royal Highness Prince Harry, will run in London from the 10th to the 14th of September. Joelle Batista, CTV News.
A group of Australian businesses feel as though they're shut out of the rebuild and can't contribute.
Australian businesses are concerned Cantabrians aren't letting them help with the rebuild of Christchurch following thousands of earthquakes. Australian Treasurer Joe Hockey has been visiting New Zealand and paid a special visit to Christchurch on Monday. He has raised concerns about a Canterbury first mindset, suggesting Australian businesses could help with the rebuild and get the job done faster than if Canterbury businesses were only relied on. Canterbury Earthquake Recovery Minister Jerry Brownlee has told local media the government is simply looking for the best outcome when assigning contracts and there's no Canterbury first approach. He says the major companies working on the Christchurch rebuild are all national, if not international. The Prime Minister has also told media the Australian Treasurer didn't raise any issues with him over Australians being locked out of the rebuild market.
Still to come, a well-known organisation has been voted New Zealand's most trusted charity.
Al Jazeera News, international news right off the satellite, bringing you up-to-the-minute coverage of world events. Al Jazeera News, weekday mornings at 6 o'clock, right here on CTV.
Located at the foot of the Port Hills, Berrymead Golf offers a spectacular location for any occasion. Make a dream wedding a reality with private use of our green function room, outdoor garden courtyard, large marquee and stunning gazebo. Or for your next conference, enjoy the relaxed atmosphere of Berrymead Golf, offering a private, spacious conference room with special deals to make any break a true break. All with customised catering from the Wow Cafe. Berrymead Golf, 50 Berrymead Park Drive, right next to the Berrymead Heritage Park.
Avoid the monkeys when it comes to relocating. Trust A1 Movers, a family business since 1993 that guarantees a professional job every time. We carefully handle and wrap your valued items, ensuring they have a safe journey. Secure storage and insurance options are also available.
A1 Movers, the careful, caring moving company. Oi!
Pestral has the latest technology that repels rats and mice and even helps control cockroaches. Covers walls, ceilings and open spaces. Combines electromagnetic, ultrasonic and ionic technologies. Harmless to pets and people, just plug it in. Order your Pestral rodent-free today. Now $149.90 plus courier. Order within 20 minutes and get it courier free. Call 0800 88 88 44 or go to pestral.co.nz.
Action Removals, offering short or long-term storage facilities, full packing services, comprehensive rates, all fully insured and with 6 vehicle sizes to choose from. Earthquake repairs? Action Removals pack, move, store and return your valuable possessions stress-free. Action Removals, a family business that has been operating in Christchurch for over 10 years. Action Removals, your one-stop removal service on time, every time. 0800 222 526.
Let's face it, everyone has an agenda. And guess what? So do I. Every week, I'll pick 3 stories that grab my attention. Agenda with me, Brent Goff.
Ngāi Tahu Dairy were chasing consent to convert Balmoral Forest in the Hurunui district into a dairy farm. But Environment Canterbury have thrown a curveball at their plans.
Ngāi Tahu's dreams of converting 7,000 hectares of the Huranui forest into irrigated dairy land has been ruined. Ngāi Tahu Forest Estates was to apply for resource consent because the dairying operation could result in discharge of nitrogen or phosphorus into the water. When the consent came through, Environment Canterbury only issued a partial consent. Ngāi Tahu can still farm the land but must comply with stringent conditions, potentially limiting the scale of the operation. They must comply with a maximum annual nitrogen leaching amount of 57.2 tonnes. An ECAN commissioner believes that granting the full consent would have unavoidable and unacceptable adverse effects on the environment. Those effects coming from the nutrient losses from the Balmoral and the impact those nutrient losses would have on the quality of surface water. The hearing was the first considered under the new Canterbury Water Plan, introduced by ECAN commissioners. The Huranui and Waiau River Regional Plan became operational in December, setting nitrogen limits in the Huranui catchment. It allows for development, but only if phosphorus levels remain as they are.
St John has been voted the most trusted charity in the country.
They're the first port of call for anyone in need of urgent medical help. St John, a lifeline for many New Zealanders, has been voted the most trusted charity in the country within the Reader's Digest Most Trusted Brands Awards. In a statement, St John's Chief Executive Peter Bradley says the charity is very humbled to receive such strong recognition for its vital emergency and community work. St John provides emergency ambulance services to 90% of the country and is the largest primary healthcare provider in New Zealand. More than 415,000 patients are treated and transported by ambulance officers every year. It works to build resilient communities and supports people living independently for longer, with services like caring cooler, health shuttles and monitored medical alarms. Mr Bradley says it's great to have earned the public's trust and confidence, as St John is in the unique position of going into people's homes and places of work during times of great need. Paramedics also came second in the Most Trusted Professions category of the annual awards.
Locals are showing their support of an international rowing lake.
An international lake in the Avon River Red Zone is proving popular. The 2.25 kilometre flatwater sports lake has received positive feedback on an online forum. The proposal is one of 30 listed on EvoSpace, an online public consultation platform. Two options are being considered. The first, a 1.25 kilometre flatwater sports lake. The second, a 2.25 kilometre version suitable for international competition rowing. Reverend Peter Beck, the convener of Eastern Vision, says few prefer the shorter version because it has less impact on the environment. But most prefer the longer option, with 80% of respondents agreeing with that option. Reverend Beck believes if you're going to do it well, you may as well do it to an international standard. A number of proposals have proven popular on EvoSpace. The City to Sea River Park, Eastern Cycle and Walkway Network and Legacy Hot Pool Complex for New Brighton have all received over 90% support.
The rebuild of Christchurch has turned out to be very noisy.
It was never going to be quiet. Hundreds, if not thousands, of noisy pieces of equipment moving to Christchurch to help with the rebuild. Cranes, diggers, chainsaws, the list goes on, and with the increased amount of machinery, an influx of noise complaints. As the Christchurch Press reports, construction noise complaints quickly rose from 124 in 2011 to 463 in 2013, and as the rebuild accelerates, the number keeps increasing. Complaints from bands, concerts and PAs have also risen from 523 in 2011 to 882 in 2013. This could be down to a number of new temporary and transitional venues. Directly after the earthquakes, the city received a surge in party-related noise complaints. In 2010, the Christchurch City Council received 310 noise complaints, but that quickly increased to more than 800 following the 2011 earthquakes. A police spokesman has told the press police were extremely busy with parties after the February earthquakes. The increase in noise complaints has been put down to a lack of open bars.
Emma Cropper reviews the progress of the city's rebuild. Starting this week with a walk around the central city with the man in charge of Christchurch's largest infrastructure projects.
Pavements are cracked, access to roads change almost every day, and people in bright orange almost outnumber the cars travelling along the city's streets. CTV News walked around the central city with Duncan Gibb, the General Manager of the Stronger Christchurch Infrastructure Rebuild Team, otherwise known as the man overseeing Christchurch's largest infrastructure project in the city's history.
We're on track, in fact, a little bit ahead of where we wanted to be.
Skirt are just about to clock the halfway mark, which includes repairing 62 kilometres of road, 43 kilometres of wastewater pipes, 15 bridges and 9 pump stations. This site on Peterborough Street is one that's near completion after undergoing a complete rebuild on the road.
It's the end of a long process, because underneath here is the new water and the new sewage and wastewater and all those services that are a lot further down. So this is the final finishing. Great to see, and we're going to see a lot more of this happening in the central city over the next few months.
What you don't often see is what happens underneath the roads. It's similar to the veins of the human body, filled with cables and pipes running in all different directions.
Before we can really get in and do the work of installing the services, we've got to identify and locate all of the existing power and gas and telecom and all those sorts of things. So this is what we're doing here. We're using a hydro excavation to suck out the material which is agitated and stirred up by a high pressure water blast.
Some pipes so small, they've called on the help of small robots like this one, being used to go underground where humans can't fit. Inspecting damage of sewer and stormwater drains, it even comes with lasers.
Yeah, that definitely goes everywhere a person can't go. It'll do 100mm pipes up to 2 metres, and it can drive 300 to 500 metres away from the van.
And the engineers are repairing the roads, but with a few new tricks up their sleeves, in the hopes of preventing the widespread damage caused by the 2011 quakes. They're now laying this geotextile mat on the bottom of the road.
And what it does is it provides some strength to the pavement. If there is movement, again, another earthquake, it provides a tensile capacity. So if the road moves, it's going to hold it all together, and hopefully we don't get the same disruption to the road again.
But it's not making the roads indestructible. While the city's rebuild is moving along at a fast pace, heavy trucks and construction teams driving along the city streets are causing delays for Skirt.
There's a percentage of the roads that need to be redone like this, where the vertical alignment's gone well and truly out of tolerance. A lot of the roads are just going to be repaired and resealed. We're being very conscious in not putting the final surface on a lot of the buildings through the central city because of all the work that's coming.
But that's not all.
What have been some of the setbacks in here?
You get the normal challenges around working with other projects and programs. I'm trying to get services relocated. That's caused a few problems for us along the way, but generally I reckon things have gone very well.
And the price tag on these roads, $2.9 billion. The project is part of Christchurch City Council's cost-sharing agreement with the government. But the cash-strapped council is facing a financial crisis. An independent auditor opened the council's books and found a shortfall of $534 million, which may leave some of the roading projects only partially finished.
Funding is an ongoing conversation around the rebuild, as you know. We're doing the best we can to get as much work out of the budget that we have, and that's what we're working with.
By the end of the year, Mr Gibb believes the city centre will have up to 90% of the work in the city complete, making it easier for those commuting around the rebuild. Emma Cropper, CTV News.
Coming up, an update on traffic and weather around the region.
Red and Black Sports match of the day in the Press Cup this week. It's on our screen, Sunday 12:30, 5:30 replay on the day, and 7 o'clock next Thursday night. Catch the match.
Come in and meet the locals at the Bush Inn Centre. Whether it's to grab a coffee on the go or to catch up with a friend over lunch or dinner, the Bush Inn Centre is the perfect place. With our unique range of shops, you'll find everything you're looking for and more. Our friendly locals are always happy to help. We have plenty of parking at the Bush Inn Centre, making your shopping experience just a little bit easier. So come in, meet the locals and shop Bush Inn. You'll find us on the corner of Riccarton and Waimari Roads.
Hi, I'm Steve and welcome to Carpet Kingdom. At Carpet Kingdom we stock a massive range of carpets and we're also the largest vinyl stockist in the South Island. And not only do we have an excellent range in store, but you can purchase our stock online. We offer free measuring quotes, we have our own installation team, we ship nationwide, so come on down and see us at Carpet Kingdom, 312 Wilsons Road in Waltham, just off Brougham Street, or visit us online at carpetkingdom.co.nz.
Blue Star Taxis has been servicing the Canterbury region for over 80 years. Canterbury owned and operated with the passion for providing safe, reliable public transport in Christchurch to Cantabrians and visitors to our city. Home safe every time with Blue Star Taxis.
Get rid of that damaging and unsightly moss, mould and lichen from your path, drive or roof with Mossbuster. Mossbuster is a no-bleach, non-abrasive, biodegradable solution that has over 35 years of proven results. Mossbuster costs less than half the price of other well-known products and can be yours for less than $1 a litre. You just spray it on and let Mother Nature do the rest. Check out our website to find the best solution to your moss, mould and grime problem. Order online or call us now on 0800 88 1000.
G'day, this is Fletch, your presenter of the TV show Classic Restos. It's the show where it's your chance to see completed restorations being shown, driven and enjoyed.
The free flu injection period has been extended until the end of August for Cantabrians who qualify.
Over 75% of over 65-year-olds get vaccinated with the flu injection every year. Nationally, the flu injection is free for pregnant women, people over the age of 65, and those who suffer from chronic illnesses. The Canterbury District Health Board has announced flu injections will be free for those under the age of 18 in Canterbury. Wanting to see more people immunised, the free injections were due to end this month, but have now been extended until the end of August. Dr. Raymond Pink, the Canterbury Medical Officer of Health, says the peak time for the flu outbreak in New Zealand is during August and September. Concerned the community might be vulnerable to a late surge of infections, Dr. Raymond Pink says the flu injection containing part of the disease is a myth.
People often think that you get the flu by getting the flu injection. That's not true. We don't put any live virus into the vaccine, and it provides protection for the virus that is currently circulating in the community.
The Canterbury Medical Officer says even if you pay the $30 required, it's a great investment in not only your own health but those around you. Making it free and available for every young Cantabrian under the age of 18 is important. The infection is commonly spread at schools and public places.
School is a place where the spread of illness happens more easily than perhaps in our other parts of our communities. So we've been targeting schools for the last 3 years now, and the uptake for the vaccine has improved considerably throughout those years.
Dr. Pink says Canterbury has been lucky so far, but can't afford to get complacent. There's still time to get protected.
Take advantage of it. Go and get vaccinated. Get your children vaccinated. If people are unwell, if you become unwell, don't send your kiddies to school. Don't go to work yourself. No one's going to thank you if you've got the flu, or even if you've got a severe cold.
The flu vaccine will continue in Canterbury until the 31st of August. Joe Albertista, CTV News.
Stay clear of tomorrow's traffic jams with tonight's roading update.
Hello travellers, to help you plan your journey around the central city, here's some tips on how to get around this week. Bearley Ave is down to 2 lanes from Barbados Street to Madras Street for westbound traffic. This week, work commences on the intersection of Manchester Street and St Asaph Street. At times, Manchester Street will be restricted to northbound traffic only between St Asaph Street and Tuam Street. And St Asaph Street will be down to 1 lane from Barbados Street to Colombo Street as well. To keep up to date on what's happening around the Central City roads, keep watching CTV News first at 5, and in the meantime, visit the Transport for Christchurch website.
Here's your weather forecast for the region.
Kia ora Canterbury, here's your Wednesday's weather. Starting in Timaru, Temuka and Geraldine, they've had one of the highs with 10 degrees. In Methven, Ashburton and taking a look also at Rakaya there, slightly cooler on 9. Darfield 9 degrees and Leeston and Ralston hit one of the highs of 10 today. Lincoln and our Garden City Christchurch a mild 10 as well. Over in Akadawa, I hope you've been keeping warm with one of the lows of the region of 8 degrees. Crossing the Waimakadere River, Rangiora, Kaipoi and also moving further north to Amberley, 10 degrees today. In the Huranui district, Culverden, Hanma Springs and also Cheviot, ever so slightly cooler on 9 degrees, and a chilly day for those living in Kaikoura, 8 degrees today. But what's in store for tomorrow? It's looking pretty chilly. In Timaru, a frosty start to the morning, but then the sun is out for most of your Thursday, with light easterly winds developing throughout the day. An overnight low of -2 and a high of 11. In Ashburton, crunchy underfoot in the morning, but pleasant winter temperatures during the afternoon. But not to worry, there's lots of sunshine in store for the day, hitting an overnight low of -2 degrees and a high of 11 during the day. And in Christchurch, a fine and mostly sunny Thursday ahead with scattered cloud and light northeasterly winds. -1 overnight and 11 during the day. And in Kaikoura, clear skies and light winds all day. Be prepared to defrost your cars if you're heading out early. There's a layer of frost in store for the morning, hitting an overnight low of -3 and a high of 11. It's looking chilly around the other areas as well. Temuka and Geraldine an overnight low of -4. Methven hitting -4 overnight and Rakaya just a chilly -2. Darfield fine with an overnight low of -4. Leeston, Ralston and Lincoln fine for most parts of the day with an overnight low of -2. Rangiora and Kaipoi a high of 10 and a low of -3. Culverden, Hanma Springs and Cheviot, -4 overnight and a high of 11. And looking ahead for what's in store for Canterbury. Changing on Friday and Saturday, with periods of cloud and maybe a few light showers at times, but mostly dry and some sunny periods expected as well. Do expect it to be cold with moderate to fresh southwesterly winds. Cloud will be clearing and sunny periods increasing during the day on Sunday, with moderate cold southwesterlies dying out. It'll be fine and sunny on Monday, with high cloud increasing during the day and moderate northeasterlies. Some showers are possible early on Tuesday, with cold southwesterlies for a brief time, but becoming fine during the day with southwesterlies dying out. That's all for your region's weather. Do keep warm and enjoy the rest of your evening.
And that's CTV News for Wednesday. I'm Grant Mangan. Good night.
Supporting local content so you can see more of New Zealand on air.